Hey, howdy to whoever is watching this. I just want to create this video and make it quick, so no joke today. But just to give you a quick refresher on finding angles when we're not using a protractor. So this is all just using regular mathematics. So again, like just a quick review, you can watch this, you can move through it to pick what you'd like. But I'm really going over your homework page that was page 166. So here we go. What we're looking at here is we're talking about two different kinds of angles. So here we can easily talk about complementary angles and supplementary angles. So the first thing I want to talk about is complementary. A complementary angle really just completes a full 180 degrees. That's why, it goes together. Complementary means that it goes together. So I would say that this angle right here is complementary. It completes the whole 180 degrees. So the way that we find, it's labeled R, ST. So the way that we would find R is by doing 180 minus 133. Okay, and that answer would get us, do quick math, 7, so 47 degrees, right? Double check my math. So we know that R would then be 47 degrees. So the cool thing with angles like this is that we've done all the work. There's nothing else that we need to do. We don't need to do any more math, and I'll tell you why. We could also say that T is complementary to 133. So then I could also say that I could just know, and this is the cool thing about geometry, is that it's automatically going to equal 47 degrees. That's just a proof. It's given. We know, we can see it complements, it completes 133 degrees. Now, remember how I said supplementary angles? A supplementary angle in this case would be S, because it is across from, it supplements. So because of this cool rule about how math works, I automatically know that S equals 133 degrees. Now with our newfound information, we could have just used a supplementary angle to 47 degrees. We could have said, well, S is supplementary, or excuse me, is complementary, that's what I mean. R and S are complementary angles, so I could just say that, well, S would complement R, so I know that 133 degrees would be there. Okay, moving on to the next one. The next thing that I noticed is trying to find, again, looking at angles that that are attached to like a shape. So I'm looking at number 3 on page 166, so bear with me while I try to draw it. We have a line going like this, and then it is a parallelogram. Oh, that's not so bad. Okay. And the only angle that they give us is they say that this is 60 degrees. And we need to find A, B, and C. So again, we are dealing with complementary angles, and we're also dealing with a new shape. So we know that this full line is 180 degrees, but this new shape adds up to be 360 degrees. And we know that is, remember, we make a triangle. Let me try that again. Let me make a dash. So we make a triangle, and however many triangles there are, we multiply that number by 180. So 2 times 180 equals 360. So there are 360 degrees in this parallelogram. Total how many degrees? So we can break this down. So we know through geometry that A through complementary angles is how many degrees? 120, right? So A is 120 degrees because it complements, it completes 60 degrees. They add up to 180. Now, what do you think about C? Well, think about if we were to continue this line up here. We could say, if we were to continue this, we could say that this 60 degrees is again complementary over here, and A is supplementary to it. See how it's kind of across, it's diagonal. So this part angle right here actually equals 120 degrees. So that means C equals what? 60 degrees. Okay? 60 degrees. Right? And now we could do a couple different things. We could continue to use our math and say, well, it's a parallelogram, so we know that this corner and this corner are going to be the same angles. Then that means that this corner and this corner will be the same angles. So we could just kind of use that because we know that these are parallel lines right here. They're parallel, so the angles won't change. Or we could just add up the angles that we do know and subtract it from 360. So just to make sure, we're going to make sure that B does equal 120 degrees. So we're going to add up the angles that we do know. We know that A equals 120. We know that C is 60. And if we were to continue on our complementary angle down here, we know that that angle would be 60 degrees. So we're looking at, if we add all that up, we're looking at 240. And now we just do 360 minus 240. So we got a 0, we got a 2, and look at that, 120 degrees. Okay? So again, just using math. You keep the protractors in your desk. Don't be doing that. I'm hoping that with this you can solve the other problems. But if you need more continued help, remember to ask. Ask, ask, ask. If you need help. Alright, should be good. Let me know if you need more help. See you in real life.